Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, Earthlings. I hope you're all having a fabulous day. First question, am I pissed? No, not yet, but I will be soon. This video is nothing to do with the royal family. Well, I suppose in a way it might be, because what I'm going to talk about is my boat. And this boat, I've done videos like this before, where I've tried to explain when you own something that is large, I think that's the best qualification. When you own something that's large, it's a handful. And you end up feeling as if when you first buy something that's large, a boat, a house, a caravan, something like that, you feel really happy. Like, oh, because people tend to do this when they're young. I don't know about anyone else. Oh, look, I look really short. I'm actually standing on the pontoon here next to my boat. You feel very, very lucky, and you feel like you're a millionaire when you first buy them. And even when and generally us poor people, which me and Graham and the kids were, which we still are actually, but we really, really were like church mice then. You feel enormously privileged, and you think, I can fix this because I'm young and I'm fit and I'm healthy and I can conquer the world. Throw all the shit at me that you like, I can take it. And the larger the object, the more it defeats you as the years go by. And life gets in the way as well. So I admire people, for example, Carnarvon Castle. You know, I can't remember the family name, you know, they're Downton Abbey people. And I remember seeing the guy, the current Duke, I think it wasn't Percy one of them? Do you know what, I can't even remember his name, the guy's name. But Carnarvon, the one who got bitten by the mosquito and died, who discovered Tutankhamun's pyramid. I think he had that house. I'm probably getting all this wrong because I'm having an extremely large gin and tonic and I was ignorant in the first place. But anyway, the current Lord, Duke, whatever, I distinctly remember seeing them on a documentary, and they said that what they wanted to do was leave the house in better condition for their children and future generations, and he felt his thing was the roof. Because Lady Carnarvon, forgive me if I've got that wrong, but the lady of the house had said, doesn't matter how much you fix up the inside, if you don't fix the bloody leaks coming in, you know, it's all ruined. And it's the same for loads of aristos all over the UK, and I'm certain people in America, Australia, and other parts of the world who, perhaps like us, bit off a bit more than they could chew. Of course, in those circumstances with aristos, they inherit the problem. People, you know, maybe people who want a republic. They want something along the lines of Pol Pot, where we're all equal, earn the same wage, wear the same clothes. Okay, maybe I'm being too hard on people who genuine people who want to see a bit of equality in society, which I agree with. I really do. But we all have a cross to bear, don't we? And some of us, like me, actually invent our own crosses. You know, we're young, like me, young idiot, thinking they could conquer the world, and literally bit off more than they could chew and bought, for example, what to me is a gigantic boat that just constantly fights me. Constantly. And I wanted to talk about that. Not really the boat, but I mean just life in general, and what a struggle life can be. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm in a good place at the moment. I'm okay. But I've been quite emotional the last couple of days because I think I've beaten her. With boats, I don't know how this is with stately homes. Anyone out there who owns a stately home, let me know. But with boats, what I've noticed is you work on them, work on them, work on them, work on them, blood, sweat and tears, and you just think, I'm not getting anywhere. And it continues until you feel as if every vertebrae in your back is shattered. And then one day, just before you're about to commit suicide over the whole situation, you wake up and you think, oh my God, I think I've won. It's far from perfect, but I think I've broken the back of the problem and I am on top of the situation. Well, that's how I feel right now. We bought our boat in 2007, and yesterday, Graham, I didn't want to do a video because I felt really emotional, and Graham wanted to do a video for his channel, and we did one tonight where I was still quite emotional. See, I'll put a link to that video. There goes an aeroplane taking off from Gibraltar over there. So to give you some perspective of where I'm standing right now, I shall film through the window so you can see for yourself. There's the galley and everything, and there's the back of our TV. Now, I mean, this is going to be just a general chat. Indulge me. A couple of months ago, we had this really, really weird storm. It was like there was no thunder, but there was loads of lightning. I actually think it was the Aurora Borealis, or, you know, the Northern Lights or something. It was like lightning, and it went on for hours and hours, and me and the cat went up to the top roof at like 2 o'clock in the morning, and there was this seagull just going crazy. It was swoop diving and wanted to kill me and the cat. She's been trying to kill us ever since. But then I think there's something wrong with it, and started walking up and down our pontoon. I kept finding it on the boat and thinking, get off the boat, because I didn't like it. You know, go away, shoo. But tonight, there she is, and I gave her some water and some cat biscuits. And she's actually quite nice. She's been very well behaved, and the cat quite likes her. I'll put a little bit of video of the cat watching this seagull, because I'm always saying to the cat, what kind of cat are you? You let the seagull stay, you know? And I feel that seagull was some sort of a sign. Anyway, she had a nice drink of water, loads of cat biscuits, and it's life, really. When my boss Conchi was at the dolphin safari, because she retired a few years ago. She was a hard boss, but she was lovely, and she used to talk to me philosophically about life, and the way we saw things at dolphin safari was everything is a season. Like, we got to work the season. Can we work with this person for the whole season, which is like 8 months? How's it? And we would look back on years and say, that was the year of so and so, that was the year of so and so. And Conchi used to say to me, that's how it is in life. You can't let life take you on a sidetrack. You have to think about things and look back on the years and think about what happened last year, the year before, what were the controlling factors. And so, of course, I'm looking at this boat and, oh my God, it's just, she was in a state when we bought her, but she's probably worse now, with us as custodians, and that's how we see it. We're custodians. And we've done an awful lot of work on it, some good, some bad. And I feel the boat's been neglected, but I do see the boat is like me. We're actually the same age. This boat was made in 1970. I was born in 1970, so she's an old girl like me. When she's neglected, like me, we look quite rough, and she brushes up okay when it happens. And so that's what I've been working on. Now, I'm going to show you some stuff that I've been doing. You'll have to indulge me. I'm going to smoke as well. So I should probably put a warning at the beginning of this video. I'm going to smoke, I'm going to drink. I'm not going to take drugs, because I don't take drugs. I've never been into drugs, actually. Let's start with the light. So let's have a look at the deck. where I'm talking to you from now. I mean, this is fiberglass, and I've taken most of the paint off, and the windows. Oh yes, the windows. I've managed to smooth them off. What I'm doing is getting a nice shape, a nice surface ready to fiberglass. And it's all over Graham's video, but I'd like to do it anyway, so indulge me. I'm just going to have a sip and then try and move the light down the other end. Walk with me. Here we go, I'm on the pontoon. I'm on the, as they call it, a finger. Right, let me turn that round. Here we go. Stand up light, please. Oh, fucking light. There we go. Where's my bloody technician when I need him? It must get brighter when you touch it. Fuck's wrong with this? There we go. That works. Hang on. Just bringing my accessories with me. Anyway, so yesterday I was working on this area of the boat. This looks awful, doesn't it? But don't worry, no one's going to see it in the future. Under here is our toilet. Now, anyone who's watched my channel for a while will remember me showing the inside of our bathroom, which we renovated last year. And I'll show you a little bit more here. Oopsies. Look at all that. And I fitted this new piece of wood. 2 new pieces of wood. Well, 3 if you include this deck. And then up there was more wood, and that's filler over the top. I mean, I'm sure this doesn't look very impressive to any of you. I bet you a lot of you are thinking, oh my god. Where does this woman live? What the fuck's she doing? But believe me, that is 100 times better than it was before. Now, why? I feel, and here, actually, that's better, judgment. People don't mean it, but other boat owners in the marina, they're very nice, but people always are, oh, I'd do this, I'd do that, I'd do the other. And they look at things, I mean, there may be something that's run down. Maybe some of you have got houses that are run down and life's got away with you. Maybe you've had illness that create mobility issues, or, I mean, this brings me back to Aristos, and things become run down. Now, things are only going to look beautiful as long as people have a lot of energy, time, inclination, the conditions are right, that they can achieve certain goals. And a lot of younger people, and I'm not criticising younger people, because I know there are a lot of younger people that understand the difficulties of life, but a lot don't. My kids, being 2 of them, forgive me, I'm having a fag. I mean, life waylays you. You get dragged off into all different directions. And my boss, Conchi, was always very, very good at saying, don't get involved with this person because they're going to take you off for a couple of years in another way. And I'd listen to her and go, okay, and I'd watch someone else get taken off. And I thought, Conchi, you are so, so right. And of course, bringing up kids. When we bought this boat, our kids were 6 and 4. So there was a lot of growing up to do, and we had another boat in the UK. Just adding rods to my back, causing my own, creator of my own problems, you know. But it's cheaper to live on a boat than it is a house. I was born in Brighton. My dad was born in Brighton. Both my sisters were born in Brighton. You know, we're Brighton born and bred, my family. But I can't buy, I have no money to buy a house in Brighton. Joking. And we wanted the kids to know their grandparents, their grannies, because only my mum and Graham's mum are alive. And they both lived in Hove. So we moved back there so they could get to know the kids. but which is something Meghan and Harry, of course, don't give a fuck about, no matter how much money they've got. But of course, a house, very expensive. So I actually went to the council, housing, and I hope you can hear me. There's a bit of a breeze, but I hope you can hear me. Anyway, I thought, well, I'll give it a try. You know, I probably won't get a house. I applied to Brighton Council and I went down there. Oh my God, you won't believe it. This YouTube probably won't even allow this, but I went in there. I was out here with Ben. I was pregnant. Little Faith, she was, well, she'd have been about 2.5. And this lady was jet black and wore not a burqa. Her face was revealed, but she was in a jet black, you know. And she had a very foreign accent and she struggled with English. It was incredibly broken English, worse than my Spanish. And I went in and there was a window between us like that thick as the phone book. And she said to me, her exact words, her voice was like this, and you all know I'm quite good at mimicking voices. She said, "You not have good enough connection to Brighton." That is exactly how she said it. Anyway, I laughed. And I said, "Are you kidding me? I was born in Brighton. My dad was born in Brighton. And my mother was chairman of East Sussex County Council and leader. My dad was under sheriff. And I've been all over the fucking newspapers as Britain's most wanted Brighton girl. Oh, and I went to school in Brighton." And she repeated again and said, "You not have good enough connection to Brighton." Anyway, I just laughed and I said, "Fair enough. Yeah, you're probably right." So I left and I thought, well, sod it. I'll make my own arrangement. I'm not going to wait for Brighton Council. It was only, you know, I just thought I'd go and ask. A few weeks later, actually, they did send someone round to my mother-in-law's house because we were all three of us were sleeping on a mattress in my mother-in-law's house. Me pregnant, Sammy was little, and Graham. And Graham had a job on the bins. We weren't on the social, weren't on the dole. Don't you hate it when your fag goes out? We were never on the dole or anything like that. But we were living at his mother's, and I just thought it, you know, it was worth a try. Let's see what it is. But it turned out that Brighton, of course, Brighton is in desire. Council houses all over the UK are in high demand. I just thought, you know, I'm going to apply for everything. I'm going to try for everything. Anyway, after that encounter, I thought, well, I've got a good lick as a situation. This ain't going to work. And I don't really want a council house anyway. Really. And so I started looking for caravans, looking at caravan parks, looking at boats, big time. And eventually they did actually send a lady round from the housing who was English, spoke perfect English, and she spoke to me, come around my mother-in-law's, and I said, don't worry about it, you know, don't worry. I was only kind of half-hearted applying. I didn't actually expect you to come around, and I don't want to waste your time because I know it's valuable. And she said, oh no, you need to be on the waiting list. You need to do this, you need to do that. And I said, oh, I'm not doing any of that. I said, take me off that list completely. I'm going to make my own arrangement. I'm thinking I might buy a double-decker bus, or I might buy a caravan, although that's looking tricky, or I might buy a boat. And she said, oh, don't do that, because you will be helping Brighton Council get out of their responsibilities to house you, because you're pregnant and you've got a little one. And I said, oh, please, I don't care. I don't need Brighton Council, and I would far rather someone else who needs it far more than I do. You know, I've got a bit of nous about me. I know I can be quite stupid a lot of the time, but I think I can do this. Anyway, so she left, and I said, withdraw my application, just cancel it, please. Which she did, I assume, because I never heard another word. Anyway, I found a boat in Brighton, and I had been looking for months, and of course, as you all know, when you're pregnant, it goes on and on and on, doesn't it? And you know there's a clinch, there's a climax. At 9 months, it's coming. And I thought, well, my God, I've got to find somewhere soon, because I loved my mother-in-law, don't get me wrong. But it was not ideal, if you know what I mean. God rest her soul. Anyway, I was beside myself after a couple of months of looking for boats, caravans. I mean, I found out caravans, that's a big no-no in the UK because of the weather and because it's very expensive. They've got to be on authorised campsites, which are extremely more expensive actually than renting a house. So I thought, no, I'm going to go for a boat. Let's fly under the radar. And my mum was, bless her, was driving me round to look at this boat, that boat. We went everywhere. We even went to Conway in Wales, North Wales, to look at a boat, you know, but it was out of the question. It was way beyond our... Anyway, I went home to my mother-in-law's with my mum, and I sat down on the bed and I burst into tears. I had a magazine on my lap, like Boating Weekly, something like that. And the pages just fell open and there was a worded advert, just text words, no picture. And it said, 36-foot harbour launch for sale, £1,500. And my mum had literally said to me 10 minutes before, consoling me while I was crying, while I was sitting on my mattress, she said, I can afford to lend you 1,500. And I said, oh, I found one. And it had an 01273 phone number. I said, it's here in Sussex. It's not far. It's not Conway. So my mum was like, oh, it's got to be meant to be. The phone was right there in front of me. I phoned up. It was an answer phone that said, oh, you know, we're not available and that. As soon as the message, the recording kicked in, I said, I've just seen your advert. I've got £1,500 and I'm looking for a 36-foot boat. I want your boat. I will buy your boat. And while I was recording the message, the lady who owned the machine, I could hear like the phone going clunk, 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 and she was desperate to sell. And she went, oh, are you there? Are you there? Are you there? Are you sure you want to buy it? And I said, yes, I will buy it. And she said, it's in a terrible state. I said, I don't care. And she said, the one thing I've got to tell you, that's right, the boat was actually advertised for £5,000. And it was the closest to my price. That's right. And the first thing she said was, there's so much work to be done to it. I've reduced the price to 1,500. And I said, I'll buy it. Can I see it now? And she said, no, not tonight. It's in the Sussex Yacht Club in Shoreham. And you can come and look at it tomorrow. Which me and my mum did. And I spoke to my mum and I said, you know, we're skint. And my mum said, I'll lend you the money. And I went and met Gemma. And we met Far Ben. That's what the boat was called. In the boatyard, on death row, condemned, and I bought the boat. And I phoned Graham up and I said, I've bought a boat. We've got home. I was still pregnant with Ben. Oh, well, I was up and down ladders and I was fixing the windows. And there was a point when I took Graham and his mother to see it, and the heavens opened and we were standing in the saloon and all the rain just came straight through. We were all soaked. And my mother-in-law said, oh, you can't live in this. I thought, watch me, I'm going to fix this. As soon as Benji was popped out, well, I didn't go back the very next day to work in the boatyard, but I went the day after. And of course, the grannies were looking after their children. And at 14 months, hard blood, sweat and tears in that boatyard. And we finally launched Far Ben and we moored her. The yacht club, bless them, they gave us a very cheap mooring, £80 a month. Now, you show me in Brighton where you can rent even a bedsit for £80 a month. In 2003, this would have been 2004. You show me where you can rent anywhere for £80 a month. Anyway, it was like a loaned mooring from one of the other members, and eventually we had to move to Brighton Marina, which was a big upgrade. We sailed the boat there, and it was £250 a month. Well, you show me where you can rent a 2-bedroom apartment, basically, which is what Farben was, in millionaire Brighton Marina, with a spectacular view, free parking, Asda right on site. You show me where you can do that. Well, so we were on a winner. We were doing really well. We both working. Kids were older then. Grannies were there picking them up from school and stuff. I'm a cleaner. Graham's doing the tow truck. We're finally starting to save some money up. We always wanted to move to Gibraltar, here, Spain. And we thought about sailing Farben down there, but she was 36 foot long. She was quite small. And as the children grew and our situation grew, you know, life gets more complicated, and there was always the rain and the council having a go at us and traffic jams and just people grinding us down on the telly. And we wanted our kids to really look at Europe as their playground. You know, that they wouldn't think twice about jumping on a train and going from Spain to France, Belgium, Luxembourg, Switzerland, which is the way it's turned out. I mean, they're both like that, and they're both bilingual. But it was impractical to sail Farben down to here. It was just too far. And she was more of a river boat, if you know what I mean. So the biggie was crossing the channel and then going down through the French canals. I did my powerboat too, because we were thinking we'd get the Sevny. Sevny's a qualification that they used to require in Europe. Anyway, in the end, I said to Graham, what would be more practical is if we bought a boat that's already down here, because I had spoken to the marinas in Gibraltar and they all said there's no spaces and there's a waiting list. And hey presto, I found what used to be called Mirage, this boat. Her real name is Leon de Mar. That was her original name when she was owned by the Carlsberg family, Leon de Mar. We found the blueprints, but someone changed it to Mirage. Bad luck to change a boat's name. So we bought this boat. I mean, it was advertised at 20 grand, and I'm sure I've told all of you guys the pirate story before. I thought, well, it's way out of our price range, but it's worth a look. You know, I'm always keep my mind open. And the guy said, well, look, just fly down. And I said, what if we pay you 100 quid and we come spend the weekend on the boat and see what we think? And if we don't want to buy it, you keep the 100 quid. And if we do buy it, take the 100 quid off the buying price. And he wanted 20 grand. Well, one of his mates broke into the boat. Oh my God, it was awful. It was like worst nightmare ever, finding this baldy pirate standing at the foot of our bed. And he broke in through the front, trodden on both kids. Oh my God. There's a whole video. You can look it up on my channel. Pirate video. Anyway, it turned out it was really nice, but it did freak me out, put me off, and the guy who was selling the boat actually dropped the price to 5 grand, which we still could not afford, and we couldn't get finance from a bank or anybody, but the seller said, look, just pay me little bit. So that's how we ended up owning this boat. And basically, the problem here is she's fabulous, this boat, but the sun, the bloody sun on this side particularly, just attack. And then add to the mix that, of course, raising children, working round the clock at the dolphin safari, because when we first moved down, we were both doing ticket sales from 9 o'clock in the morning. Then the first trip would go out at 12:30, crewing on the boat from 12:30, jumping off the boat, hour trips they are, doing more ticket sales, and this would go on and on and on through July, August, would be till 10 o'clock at night, and then having to wash the boat down and then get this, go to bed. Kids would be out playing, you know, Jib. You don't even need babysitters, it's so safe. They'd be out playing with their friends and stuff, and it would all start again the next day. You know, 9 o'clock, ticket sales, walking up to people basically, going, hello, would you like to see the dolphins? And you've got competitors, the other company, going, I'll tell you for cheaper. You know, so a lot of stress there. And then, we actually got thrown out of Gibraltar. Well, we got thrown out of Marina Bay. That's a long story. That's how the lawsuit came about. For anyone who's new to my channel, you must think I'm fucking nuts. You must think, what the fuck is she talking about? Yeah, a big storm came, turned out the boat wasn't, the marina were not fulfilling their part of the bargain. I wasn't going to sue them. I just wanted them to talk to me, but they didn't. The guy panicked. He lied. He said, "Oh no, I've done loads of maintenance," which he hadn't, and we got loads of evidence that he hadn't, and we just wanted him to talk to us. And then he threw us out, and then they gave us a deadline, and my boss from the Dolphin Safari towed us out. And the day that he towed us out, the same guy who lied phoned the police and said we were stealing our own boat. So we, apart from being a gigantic boat being towed by a much smaller dolphin boat, we had the stress of the police rocking up, and we had a big argument out at sea. But I had a radio, and I said, if you don't fuck off, I'm calling the Guardia Civil. We're now in Spanish waters, and they fucked off. Then we come to this marina, how many years ago? 11 years ago. And then after we'd been here a week, the same lying twat phoned our manager here at this marina and said we were drug dealers, we were crackheads, we were burglars, we were thugs. So I went and had a meeting with our marina manager, and he said, I don't care what that idiot says, I'll take you on face value. You behave how you behave, and I'll judge you on that. And here we are 11 years later, and they love us at this marina. And that twat, well, he's not been fired, but he was demoted seriously, and he's not very well now. Oh, long story. So much I'd love to talk to you guys about. But let me know if you would like any further elaboration. In the meantime, I'm going to really show off my carpentry here. I mean, it's just bloody awful. See that window there? There was never a window there before. Anyway, and that one. I mean, but this is my new piece of wood. See that? And I've put, that's the embryons of it. Let's call it that, the embryons. There's my sacrificial. Because there used to be a ladder here. And when there were storms in Marina Bay, where we were thrown out of, the damage that was done to this boat. I mean, look, I put all this new bit of decking up. I did that quite recently, actually. And then, of course, I'm filling all of this, and I'm rambling and rambling and rambling on. And no, I'm not pissed yet, but I fully intend to become pissed during the course of the evening. But, oh, there we go. No, light doesn't want to cooperate. Yes, so I hope you're all having a fabulous weekend. Life has a funny old way. My dad used to say, it's all part of the rich tapestry of life, Fiona. And he was absolutely right. Life goes like this and this and this and this and this. It's like going through a wormhole, really. Watching this channel probably feels like going through a fucking wormhole. I bet you guys just don't know what to expect next, do you? I bet you think, oh my God, what the fuck is she going to say next? Anyway, cheers. Have a wonderful Friday evening, or even a morning, afternoon, wherever you are. Thank you very much for listening. Good night.